Hello everyone. I would like to welcome all of you to MySQL Database's complete course. In this course, we will try to complete a project which is a real industry project, which name is Eventner, a complete events application. And we will try to develop the database of that application, and then we will try to write some queries to learn how we work with the databases. So the project design we have over here. In this project we have a number of screens, and we have some functionality of the user login, sign up, events creation, then commenting on events, and then like of those events. So whenever you will have a design like this and you plan to create this app, or then you plan to create website for this app or APIs for this app, to start this process you need to create the database first. So to create the database of a project, you need to analyze which tables you need, then which columns you need for those specific tables. These are few things you need to decide, and then you create the databases accordingly. And for this I am using phpMyAdmin. You can install XAMPP or WAMP or any similar like database tool, and then you can start working with it. So if we look at this design and try to figure out what will be the first table, then second, then third, and then we can decide on the fields of those tables. Here we can see that we have users, right? Like Tosifo Rahman is the user over here. So one thing we could understand is, okay, we need a users table. Then the second entity we see here is the events. So we can imagine the event table, and then we can see also the comments. So there will be a comments table, a likes table, then events have the locations, and also event seems to have some categories of the events, like what is the event type. So we can see that, okay, there will be an event categories table as well. So to start with the users table, we need to decide which fields we have for the users table. So if we write the notes over here, that the users table we need, and for the users table we may need the fields. So every table we know that have a field of ID, which is auto increment by default, the first column of each table. Then we can see over here, if we follow the sign up flow, then we can see name over here. So users needs to put their name, which will be our second field. Then we can have the email and password. So this way we cover the screen of the sign up. Then we can actually to create the users table, we don't only need to look at the sign up form. We will look whole app and see whatever is the information of the users needs to be covered for users table, we will put over here. So then we can see here, yes, that there is an image of the user as well. So obviously there will be a column for the users image field. Then we can see here that the users can do the reset password, which means they can save their password, which will be actually saved inside the password field. And then you can see here there is a enter code. So when user will sign up, they will receive a 6-digit code on their email, and then they can put that code inside the enter code screen, and then they can confirm their sign up. So we can call it as forgot password code as well. So we can use this code as well. When users will forget the password, then we will send them a code, and then they put that code and then verify themselves, and then they will be redirected to reset password screen to put the new password for that. Then obviously the users will be from different countries, so we need to store the time zone as well. The benefit of this is, for example, if someone is signing up from Pakistan and he will save the time zone of that user profile, and then there is one person who is in USA, when he will create an event, so obviously there will be a time difference between the different countries and locations. So by using of this time zone, we will show them similar time according to countries. I will explain further about the time zone and why we need to use it, because we always store all the data of the events inside in terms of dates in UTC, and then whenever we need to present the time of the events or the database records to the users, we will convert according to their time zones. Then we need a one more column which will be created at. Created at means when the user will be sign up. So at that time we will store the date inside the created date, the current date. Then we need the one more column which is called the updated at column, which means when user will update his profile, then at that time we will create the updated date inside the database. So first let's create this users table. So before that we need to create a database. So for example, we call this database as eventner, and in this database we need users table, and for that table we need around 9 columns. So we put it accordingly. Then the first column is ID, then second column is name, we have in our notes accordingly, and then we need a password field for the user. To make it little understandable, we can put first image and then the password. So name, email, image in a sequence. Then the forgot password code which we are going to use for verification as well. And then we need the time zone of the users, created at and updated at field. Then we need to see that okay, ID always will be integer number and length will be 11. Few more things, because ID will be the primary key, so we will put this ID as an auto increment. So every time a new record will be entered, it will be incremented by 1 automatically. Name, user's name will be varchar, and we can estimate the length of around 50 characters. Email similarly also around 50 characters. Images will be also varchar, but we can put the text length as well if there are large images URL. For now let's put the varchar with 500 length, and as defined we can put no image .png, because so if their user has no image, then we can pick the no image from the files and show to the users on the front end, so it won't look blank. Similarly for the passwords, we can put a 500 characters length. Forgot password code, we can also put varchar, and as we know that it will be 6 characters length. Time zone will be also varchar, and we can put 50. And for the defined time zone, because we are starting from Pakistan, so we can put the Asia Karachi time zone according to PHP and so on. For the created at, obviously we need the date and time, and we can also put the timestamp thing. In the timestamp we will say okay, it will be current timestamp, and for the updated at we will say that as date time as well, and we say on update collection attributes. Okay, so we will save that as date time as well. So whenever we will update that time, then we can say okay, it's a current timestamp, and we can update it accordingly later on with few more updates. So we can call it as an on update, it will be updated as time zone. there is one more property for that. Let me check if that is in this. Okay, on update current timestamp. So what it will do is it will also update the current timestamp on the time of on update. So whenever a record is updated, it will update it. So this is how our table of the users look like. So if we want to save it, we can just click on save and it will create a table inside the database for us. So if we look at this table, then we can see, okay, id is auto incremented, then accordingly name, email, image, password, forgot password, time zone, created at and updated at, on update current timestamp things are saved inside the our users table. So this is how we create our users table. So for example, if we learn now how to create a user, so we can go to insert for now and put a name. For example, we start a user with Tosif. We put the email is hello@cwtosif.com. Then because we are saying the no image for now, that's fine. And for the password, we can save the password as md5. So if I put 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, it will be md5 password. Forgot password, we don't need any code for now. And then we try to save it. Then it says, okay, one row is inserted, and also here we have the query as well. So I will copy this query for now to explain you later on. So if we go to the users, we can see it, okay, name, email, image, password, that is md5 encrypted password of 1 to 8, and then the default time zone which we have saved Asia Karachi and created and updated at. So actually how this users table is created and then we inserted the data, this is what we have learned so far. In this table now we can see that how to insert the data as well, right? So I have copied the earlier query. So it's saying that insert into the users where id, name, email, image, password, forgot password, time zone, created at and updated at, and these are the columns represented over here. And then we have the values, like because our id is auto incremented, so we will put null inside that, so it will automatically pick that auto increment value and show here, like this was the first record, so it put that record as 1 already. Then we can see it as the values. So id is null, so that was auto incremented, which automatically adds 1. Then we have name, then we have email, image, password, which will be md5 encrypted, forgot password code, which we have put none so far. Then we have time zone, then current timestamp, and current timestamps were for the created and updated at to start with. So this is how you insert the data inside the users table and you create the users table. So now we have covered the users table so far, and in the next lecture we will learn about how we can write about login using this users table, and how we can do the sign up, which actually we did already by inserting the data. And we will learn about verification of this code, and then we will learn about change password, reset password, and those things. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture.